As you've had a chance to sort of digest everything, what did you take away, you and your group, and maybe you specifically, about how everything went down?
Yeah, I mean, it ended disappointed. We were disappointed with the way it ended. I think just walking back, and it's still fresh in our minds, the Dallas series. We felt like there's those critical moments and different opportunities to grab a hold of that one. And the game that sticks out is the overtime game. Obviously, then being able to get a late one um, and then score to really tie the series, whereas we would have been up 3-1. So that's the one that's fresh in our mind. But our guys, we were a tight group. We came a lot closer together as the year went on and through this whole process. And there's a lot of things to be proud of too. And it's tough sitting here today saying that with all the disappointment that we've had the last week. But there are a lot of good things that we can take from this season, and we grew as a group for sure.
Kristen Anderson, do you want to go ahead?
Mark, I know you always reference the fact that these opportunities don't come by at like fewer and fewer between as you get older. Emotionally, how are you, absorbing this year, just knowing, these are slipping kind of away for you?
Yeah, I think as every year goes by, it gets tougher and tougher. I think, we went into the bubble, and I thought right off the bat, we were playing with a ton of, momentum. We were playing with a ton of grit, and something that really we lacked in years past. And for us to come out to that start and really be that aggressive and be able to win that first series against Winnipeg, we felt like we had a lot of momentum, and I thought a bit of that carried over into the Dallas series. But again, they're a great team. They're a veteran team, and at critical moments, they made sure they were able to grab momentum from us. And it's disappointing. Again, you go into every playoffs with a lot of excitement and hope, and really felt like we accomplished a lot of good things throughout those series. But at the end of the day, we still lost in what's the first round. I mean, we feel like we played 2 rounds, but call it the first round. And every year that happens is a lost opportunity.
Wes, go ahead.
Mark, I think there's going to be a lot of debate on, like you said, it was first round, but you guys played 2 rounds. I think there's going to be a lot of debate on whether this season counts as progress for the Flames. Where would you stand on that?
Yeah, I think we made some progress. I mean, if you look at our style of play in playoffs, I really feel like guys truly showed up physically. I thought, again, guys like Benny and Luch and Dubes were a big part of it for us, but other guys stepped up too. I mean, I know everyone wants to sort of jump on Johnny and Monty and that line not producing enough 5-on-5, but if you look at their impact and those huge power play goals, and I felt like they did a great job too. And obviously Bax's line was great. I thought every line had their moments, and there's definitely progress, but like you said, there's going to be a lot of obviously speculation and all, whatever you want to call it, this offseason, because technically it's another first round exit.
Scott Cruikshank, go ahead.
Hey, Mark. Kind of a two-parter. One is, are you going to watch the rest of the playoffs? And second of all, of the 8 teams remaining, is there one common ingredient that those teams have? That maybe, I guess.
You know what? I will watch a little bit. I think after these next couple of weeks, I'll watch more towards the semi and the final. I just look at the teams on our side in our conference, and most of them have a good mix, right? They have a lot of skill, size, grit. So it all comes into play. I think our roster this year was a lot more of a playoff roster, in my opinion, than in years past, and I think we proved that by our play. And the end result wasn't what we wanted, obviously, in this Dallas series, but there are moments where we could have grabbed a hold of that series, and that's what's the most disappointing for us. But I mean, watching the games, you look at a team like Vegas, you look at even Dallas, they have a mix of everything. And, the things that stick out are skill, but size and grit too. So that's what I see.
Brendan Parker, go ahead.
Hey, Mark, just wanted to ask you about, you kind of mentioned Dylan Dubé and maybe the impact of some of those younger players who, as you take steps forward, you have to have some of that experience, some of that playoff experience. You only get it by going through it. How valuable do you think, this experience will be now and even last year, just as we continue to go forward with some of those young guys like Rasmus and Mangiapane and Dylan Dubé, as you mentioned?
Yeah, there's no other way to gain experience. You got to go through it, and I really believe, we all know what Sam Bennett is in playoffs. He's been one of our top performers year in and year out. But I really believe guys like Dubes, Razzie showed a lot of confidence and played great all playoffs. So that's a huge positive for sure for our team and our organization moving forward, that those young guys can step in and play that role and play as well as they did.
Ryan Pinder, go ahead.
Mark, would you be surprised on any level if there was a move of a core player, given the early departures of the 4 last trips to the postseason?
Well, I mean, it's a tough question to answer for me. I mean, I'm obviously been part of the core here for a long time, and all of us know that that's going to be the speculation moving forward from today to the start of next season, whenever that is. So, listen, at the end of the day, we, like you said, it's a disappointment because we feel like we're out earlier than we should be. I do feel like there's a lot of positive things that went on during this playoff in the bubble, but with the salary cap and who knows what's going to happen with next season. I mean, there's going to be a lot of speculation, and we get that as players. We totally understand that, especially our core players.
Take a few more here. Kristen Anderson, go ahead.
Mark, I know you guys as players don't really have control of what the fan base is, thinking, and you've been here a long time. How do you respond or take the fact that, this city is, getting really frustrated with the state of this organization? And I know you don't have control over that, but I'm sure it hits you pretty hard.
Yeah, I mean, you play for the fans. I mean, you come to the rink, and I know it's obviously changed in the last little bit here, but you come to the rink and try and put our best on the ice for the fans every day. And we're disappointed, and we understand the disappointment from them as well. And like you said, I've been here a long time, and the thing is playoff success is huge, and we need to have more of that. So we totally understand it, and there's going to be a lot of disappointment and frustration, but I still think that there were positive things that we can take out of this year, and we can move forward with.
Wes Gilbertson, go ahead.
Mark, you've played with TJ Brodie, certainly on the same team and a lot on the same pairing for a long, long time. What's it like to know that he's heading into unrestricted free agency, and how do you kind of approach the reality that you two might be separated?
Yeah, I've played with him for a long time, and he's obviously one of my best friends off the ice too. So hopefully something can get worked out. But I think we're both old enough and mature enough to know that there's a lot of uncertainty right now with both our team and the league, and what's going to happen with all that sort of stuff with the free agency. So just stay positive, keep in touch with him, and hopefully it gets worked out. I think we've had a lot of success, and we have a good relationship, and we have a lot of chemistry on the ice. So it's a guy that you obviously don't want to see go.
Brian Leslie, do you have another one?
Mark, the positives aside and the growth aside, how unacceptable is this for you and your group right now, just to have this ultimate end result?
Yeah, again, I think it's a first round exit. There's like you said, there's a lot of positives, a lot of things that you can take. But at the end of the day, if you look at it, it's still going to be a first round exit. And we have to, as a group, know that's not good enough and not acceptable. And we need to take that next step and get past the first round and into the later rounds. And we didn't get the job done. I thought we did a lot of good things. I thought, this didn't feel like the Colorado series at all to me or to our players, where they were the better team, shift in and shift out. I thought there were momentum swings and all sorts of crazy moments in this series, but at the end of the day, we lost in the first round, and that's what stings the most right now as a player.
Kristen Anderson, go ahead.
I know there's a repetitive nature of asking you about how you're reflecting on your future, Mark. But you do wonder how you're feeling and physically, what's sort of left in the tank. I know emotionally this is difficult, but how are you? Is there a certain amount of reflection that goes on right now in terms of your career and moving forward?
Yeah, no, I mean, as far as myself goes, I still have a lot of passion to play. I love the game. I keep myself in pretty good shape. So I'm gonna, go back, reflect on where I think I can be better, how I can train better, and in the off season, and come back, feeling the best about my game next season. And that's about it. I know I'm getting older, but I feel like I have a lot of good years in me left, and just got to do the right things on and off the ice to be prepared for next year.